Hello, I'm Craig.
And I'm Debbie. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the YL Share class tonight. It's May 16th, 2023. And uh, Bonnie and I are going to be going over, oh my gosh, Christine, is it?
Crystal.
Crystal.
Crystal
Crystal
Hoskins.
Hoskins live diamond call. And sorry, I just listened and I can't remember names. So anyway, Bonnie, go ahead and share what you picked up from her call, her training.
Well, like all the other ones, I mean, she wanted to do this as just a personal use. She wanted to use them herself. She signed up under somebody, she had no idea who she was, who did not want to even work the business, which I thought was amazing. And so she learned basically how to do this by herself. And she went to her husband and their mission was to become, they were going to go to, I can't remember the city, and they were going to be missionaries there, International House of Prayer.
Yeah, I have for something.
Yeah. International House of Prayer, and I'm gonna say it's in Missouri or somewhere, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But and that's when she learned about Young Living. Her husband is a plumber by trade, so they were living on one income. They didn't have any money, I mean, basically. But she learned about the oils, and I can't remember how she even used them or whatever, but a year later, she saw a lady when she got her oils in when she got her oils that she ordered every month. The Edge newsletter was in there, and she saw somebody that she knew who was making this a business, and that showed her income, and she's like, what? But she had respected this woman. And so I just thought it was interesting how all these lives, I mean, come together, and how it shows you that, I mean, you're expanding yourself and meeting new people, and these people are showing you a whole different way of how you can live your life and what your purpose should be. I liked her example of the seeds and stuff, sowing seeds. And I can't remember what her verse was. I'm sorry. It was kind of,
It's okay.
but she was talking about how sowing the seeds, and her seeds are talking about Young Living, the oils, and she really loved the oils and stuff. And she was talking about the seeds and how she said to God, if this is what you want me to do, you need to tell me. And she said in a very audible voice, he said, Crystal, you've got the seeds, you plant them, and I'll help them grow. He said, if you don't plant them and water them and do what you need to do with them, he said, you'll have nothing. He said, or something like that. He said, but she said it was very audible. She knew that this was what she needed to do. So, but her steps to, or her 7 tips to becoming diamond or going diamond was, when you start doing this as a business, don't exclude anyone. Talk to everybody. She said, don't make judgments, but talk to everybody. She said, some of the people who you think will never, ever want to do this, she said, are my biggest supporters and my biggest leaders in my group, and they are the biggest users of oil. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So what did you learn?
I came away with also that, plus I really loved how she talked about she was bound and determined because since she had no leadership to go to, she used YouTube and online resources, and Adam Green became her go-to person to watch all of his trainings and stuff. And so she watched him constantly and stuff. I'm like, boy, I don't think I download all of Adam Green's, and I doubt if they're still on YouTube. But then she's like, so I have to give some of my commission probably to Adam sometime. And I'm
Yeah,
laughing,
she
going,
said a
okay.
stipend, yeah.
And, yeah, a stipend. And then, but she said, I did a lot of training that way, and then I listened to a lot of the other old audio stuff, so that way I could engross myself into the new business. But I also told myself that I needed to do classes weekly, 4 classes a month, if not more. And she goes, and when people didn't show up, I still persevered because I was bound and determined to do it. And I'm like, yes. And I'm bound and determined to just create these little mini classes. These are so simple. And she goes, when you can do it under an hour, you've got it made. And I go, 40 minutes?
Yep.
And I was like, okay, we can do this. And
Wasn't her first class 3.5 hours?
yes, and I laughed because I'm thinking to myself, I just pulled one of those off. Well, kind of not really, but it was like, getting to know people too. I was just telling Bonnie before we started recording that I said I had a big class today, and of course, 2 hours of it I spent giving people loving haircuts. And then after that, then we got to know each other and do the class and stuff. But I spent quality time getting to listen, and I came home realizing how much I've changed. I don't just share. I sit and listen and ask questions, or I have people pull the answer, have to ask me questions or to answer them. What I also liked about that was she referenced different books along the way that she engrossed in to focus on, and I thought that's pretty darn cool. But I'm an audio listener type book reader. I don't do books, but as I learned and listened to her, it's more of the progress of creating the event, helping the people, and then helping them move on so they can duplicate. And to me, I thought I did a class for a girlfriend. I did a class on her, and now I did it for her other group of people. If she does another one, I will have her integrate with me because I thought to myself, this was a more simplified version. Because finding those 4 key videos and then just doing mini snippets was awesome. Um, but as I listened so much more to her audio, it was the consistency of never giving up and persevering through. And she says, those people have been doing this for a decade and are just going. Yeah, it's when you never give up is going to be the new you that will come through. And I feel like I have a new me change with that. So I know there's a lot more nuggets she left or she shared, but I was just gonna.
Well, I like the fact that she said, people who have been in it, don't focus on how fast. Focus on what you're doing, like you were doing with your class today. She says, and the people, she said, who have been in it for 10 years, she said, made it to the rank that they are because they committed to not quitting. And they continue
Yes.
to move that way. And she said they didn't focus on how fast it was. You just focus on the consistency in doing it. And she referenced Richard Bliss Brooks' 4-year career. And she said, I read it
Yeah.
in an afternoon and said, that's it. I'm committed. For the first 2 years, I am going to dive deep, not come up for air. I'll come up for air after 2 years, reevaluate, and then I'm diving deep again, she said, and work hard. And that's what she did. She said, I'm not giving up. I'm not going to quit. So I thought
Right.
that was good too. But she also said, your business will only grow as much as you are willing to grow yourself. And that's when she was saying, listen to trainings, go to conventions, go to conferences, do the YouTube thing. I mean, yeah, she was talking about Adam Green and stuff. Apparently, he wasn't a Royal Crown Diamond at this time, but now
It
he
was
is.
really funny when she said that she hit 2013, they reevaluated the comp plan. And I'm like, yeah, I remember that time. And then she goes, and then they added on new ranks. And I go, I didn't even know that. I'm like, I wasn't paying attention.
I know. She said Diamond was the top rank, and I went, really?
I'm like, I'm like, I was around during that time and I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember that either, and I wasn't around during that time, but I thought that was good. I mean, that
Yeah.
they reevaluated things, and I think it's because the people are making and what'd she say about that? That's all with the poverty mindset. She said too. She said, like Mary Young has always said too, money in the hands of good people can do amazing things. Don't think of money as a evil thing. She said people in
It's
the
a tool.
church think, money is the root of all evil. She said, money is a tool to help you do what you need to do to help other people. So,
Right.
yeah,
And it's funny because I actually shared that with the ladies at the table, saying the more my check grows, the more I can go out there and help serve other people and love on them and
right.
help do what God is installing in me. So it's like that. I think that's how I'm going, yeah, we're just using this to help better the world with what we have. So
Right.
it was so enriching going. It's not the fact that I feel like I finally got it, but it was more of I came to the table at a different level today, going, it's not about me, it's about these ladies and what I can do to listen to them and find out what I can do to help them.
And isn't that almost refreshing to feel that like a weight has been lifted off of your shoulder? You don't have to impress. You're there to listen to them and help them. I think
Oh,
that was,
yeah.
yeah, to me,
And
that was
I don't
just,
know,
go ahead.
I was just recently telling Craig, I said, I think this year of just stepping back and just going within and having more personal quiet time with God has driven me to a different level of appreciation, that when I do sit and listen to people, even if they're quiet speakers, when they do start bringing something out because they feel comfortable, even though this person has not really met any of these ladies that deeply or know this stuff, she just shared from her heart. And then I just loved on her going, you're God's chosen child and you have so much love to give the world. And you are such a beautiful soul. And you could tell that just shocked her because every time when I spoke those things to her, I think it's harder for some people to receive that, especially since they get abused through the life.
Right.
And then she just, so to me, I was like, wow, I didn't feel like I was there. I felt like God was through me and I was just sitting there being the vessel.
Good.
And yeah, yeah. There's not much more you could say about that, but it was just like there's times where there's a time to really speak and there's the time to really listen. And I've done a lot more listening lately in my life and asking God for guidance. We even got into the tree. Well, people touching the tree or
Oh,
grounding and stuff. Yeah, I know. You're like, what? You've heard of earthing, right?
yep.
So one of the ladies talked about they went to a thing and they were like talking about hugging a tree or something, and this lady's like, look at him like, And I go, yeah, that's you're grounding or earthing is what that's called. And I said, and if you don't want to hug the tree, you just sit at the tree or stand connected to it, and you'll receive some good input. You just don't know what it's going to be. There's just kind of like, ooh. But I I think it liked the most was she was so concise on being consistently learning and duplicating, learning and duplicating, learning and duplicating constantly through her time, to where I think she was so hands on the ground and let's do this, let's do that. Especially when she got her $1,400 check as a silver, and she's like, her husband finally says, "Go out and teach some more class."
I didn't get that far. That's good.
And I loved it. I'm like, she goes, "Guys actually see the money part," and I'm like, "Yeah, I remember when I hit that. I actually hit 2,300, so I felt like, wow."
Yeah,
So it is a big deal once you start sharing with other people and how it blesses you in those ways. So um, it was so cute on that. But I really, that's the next step for me is asking more people if I can do evening or during the day. But then my thought was, if I did it once a week, or how about if I double this up, instead do it one during lunchtime and one during right after dinner? Like doing 11:30 to about 12:15, and then a um maybe a 5:30 to 6:15 or something. Something in those time frames, so that way people can adjustively go, and that's weekly on a certain day. So it's like one, doing a back to back. So that way people, I could do it like a Tuesday at this time and then Wednesday night at this time. So they're 2 different days, but they're kind of back to back in the middle of the week instead of on the weekend.
yeah, yeah,
Or do it like 6:30 to 7:15 or something. I don't know. I'm just trying to get a good idea, but it's gonna be short enough. But I was my thought pattern was, if I do this on a Zoom and then switch it over to a live feed on Facebook or something like that, so people from either way could be a part of it. And then I could say, if they want something in person, I can do that, but this is my online times of teaching a class for once a week.
yeah. Well, and
Because
like,
I thought about that.
yeah, Crystal had mentioned that after she read the 4-year career, she had a vision, and that's she wasn't going to let anything deter her from going after this vision because she knew this is what God had. And she said, God will bring the people, God will bring the seeds to you. She said, when you have a clear vision of what you want, God brings this all to you. And I feel like sometimes I am asking, well, she went out and asked people, but I feel like she didn't want to be salesy either. And I don't want to be that way either. And she said, you have to realize that God is bringing these people, they will ask you questions and you just talk to them. She said, if you have a passion for the oils and a passion for the products, they'll listen. And you're not really being pushy. So, but she had a vision after she read that 4-year career by Richard Brooks, that this was what she was going to do and she wasn't giving up. So she had a commitment to not quit too, which was good. So even her classes that nobody showed up to, she still did them, which
Yeah,
was what I needed to hear, plus the poverty mindset where she said, don't be afraid to ask for money. You're teaching them. Don't be afraid to ask. If they
yeah,
want, if they
exactly.
want to, buy the kit or where do they want to get started? Like you said, they'll tell you no if they
Yeah,
don't want to.
exactly. And there's many different ways. I need to figure out a simple thing for, I mean, a brief, simple idea to show about the how you can get paid in a simple way like that lady did with the three. You and then three people equals your kit or something like that. Something simple to where I can have that as a video or something at the end because I want them to have a visual.
Yeah.
And those videos, after watching those a couple times, that Young Living made, they were absolutely priceless. They're so concise, what that we're doing, showing us the stuff. There was no question that this was purity at its finest. And I thought that is so cool. And it's
Yeah.
easy. It's in your back office. It's not like I created it. Young Living did.
Yeah. Which is good. And why reinvent the system when it's right there for you? Utilize it. And then people
And that,
can say, I can do this. She's just showing videos. I can do this. Yeah, I think that's priceless.
yeah. So we need to get you to do a lot more class setups or something.
There you go,
Or
guilting me again.
we do bounce or help each other and lift each other up to, to make each other better people
Yep.
to go out there.
Maybe
So
with my class this weekend, in between times, since Adrienne is going to be here, maybe I'll do a raindrop on my dogs and have her film it. So that would be good. Yeah, then I can. Did you ever figure out how to upload my event to your Facebook?
no,
Oh,
I have not yet. I'm bad. So
okay.
sorry.
No, that's all right. No big deal. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It'll be what it is.
Right. And now I'm thinking I'm gonna try and set a comfortable time frame. I don't think I want to do it later in the evening. I want to do mid-afternoon for my do a noon 11:30 noon time and then like a 4:30 or something because that's comfortable time frame for me and
Yeah,
then have that as my pivot point because I know how I feel because after in the evening time, unless I have a class that I'm working specifically with certain people, I don't want things to get interfered with that.
right. No, that's a
But
good.
I
I
think
think
it
that's
will,
good.
yeah, I think either A, I'll start off with two at the same time, or I'll do it like the first and third of the week. I'll do it at noon, and the second and the fourth, I'll do it in the evening time, mid-afternoon. So that way it can alter. So I'm trying to work on that because I think if I'm talking to new people, I can say go on there, the online thing, and they could see that this is a live a live thing that is going to be at this time. And they always know it's going to be me talking about the mini oil class.
Right. Yeah, and it's a consistent time, so they know if they miss it, they can go back and look at it another day. Yeah,
Yes, exactly. Because then I can do the individual ones outside of that, that I can help with the team. Or the team can use that as their platform to bring more people to it.
yeah,
So I could do a 1 hour a week, really duplicate, or I can go in person and do those type of things. So I'm really trying to figure out that because it was weird how that was ingraining in me. Not only doing because we're doing the Tuesday night share things with the diamonds. And I thought, well, son of a gun, why don't I do a Tuesday during the day class that is midday that I can actually talk with people about oils
yeah, yeah,
because even though Wednesday usually is a lot of education with our Royal Crown diamonds, but they randomly pick different things. So you're not going to get the straight to the point class that you would usually get.
yeah.
So,
And they can
anyway,
always go to crickets too.
yes, yes, exactly. And that's what I'm meaning. because
Yeah.
between the noon one and the 7 o'clock one, because the noon one's with Beverly and 7 is with Cricket. They both have educational ones, but they're random on what type of topics they're talking about.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
they want the bare information of the regular things that they use every day, then they know to go to that class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because
Good idea.
yeah, so it'll
Yeah.
probably be even quicker recordings when I don't have too many people asking questions back and forth. It'll be back down to 25 minutes.
I don't know. You always want them to ask questions because otherwise they'll
I
call you
know,
anyway.
I understand that, but if nobody shows up, it'll be like, oh, she's done.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I guess she's done. That was quick. Oh,
But I want to say thank you, because this not only has this helped me to branch out, but this has helped me to when we're done with the diamonds, there's other ones that I have lined up for education. So we could be doing this for a really long time and learning as we grow our business together.
and I was gonna tell you thank you for these diamond calls because really, as much as some of them have hit me between the eyes saying, okay, let's move. I mean, or don't have this poverty mindset, get out of yourself. Don't put, I'm the only one that's stopping me from moving. So, I mean, and these diamond calls have been amazing because all of these people are from all different walks of life. And all of them have said in one way or another, if I can do this, you can do this. And it's
Especially her tonight, Crystal, because she was, I don't know if you heard that, but she was like, dude, I didn't have an upline. I didn't have anybody motivated. I had to motivate myself. I had to educate myself. I went out there and did it. So what excuse do you have?
yeah, I heard that. She goes, no more excuses. She says, I didn't have any of this. And I'm like, yeah, well, and I think now from 2013 to now, or 2015 to now, there's been so many changes and so much added to the website. There is no reason why people can't. You are the only reason stopping yourself from moving ahead. And I laugh because I had given the 4-year career to my daughter-in-law. And she said, she laughs at me because she wants nothing to do with oils at this time, but she was laughing and she said, so what rank are you going for? I said, Royal Crown Diamond. And she goes, it says less than 0.1% make it. And I said, yeah, what's your point? She says, oh. And I said, I want to be, why should I settle and be the 999.9 or whatever? I said, why can't I be less than 0.1 part of that group? And she goes, no reason. I guess you can. I said, good, because that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I said,
And you and I are,
go ahead.
no,
No, I said, I'm the only one stopping me. And I got to tell people, I got to not listen to people who are saying, you'll never make it. So,
who tells you that? Let me go pound on them.
my friend Deborah will pound on you. Oh no, all my life I've heard that. You'll never do this. So, I mean, no matter what, it's not just Young Living, in everything. You'll never make it. So, I know.
I had that experience back when I was in high school. I don't know if I told you this story, that I was labeled with the slower learning, and the school counselor told me, you're not going to be able to become a licensed cosmetologist, not with your grades and the classes you're taking. That's just not gonna happen.
Oh,
Yeah,
you said, who
yeah.
let
When I
you
went
into
back,
education?
right? When I went back for I had graduated and there was a musical and I found the counselor. I looked at him and I go, "Guess what? I'm a licensed cosmetologist and I work at a salon." Booyah! Mic drop. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah,
It is. When they just tell you, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me." But my saving grace also was the fact that the instructor had a daughter who had those type of disabilities and found and helped me out, and I was an auditory type person. And then the other blessing was is my stepdad was the other one that would study with me, and so I had to be a non-licensed cosmetologist that could read me the test. And since he'd been doing it for 2 years, he went to the testing with me and he read it to me. I don't remember that at all. I remember the button that I got from doing the stuff, but I was like, "Well, Dad, there you go." And he goes, "Yep, let's do this." It became a family event. My sister and my little sister, when she was like a couple years old, we drove down to the Detroit area and we made a weekend event out of it, overnight and everything.
it's nice to
And it
have
was
people who
funny.
believe in you.
Yeah, my family has always done that. They've always had my back no matter what. They've encouraged me along. They told me you could overcome anything you put your mind to. And then I married the most amazing man that always encourages me. He's my biggest cheerleader. And then I really watch him do the things that he does to figure out a problem and work outside the box. I'm now figuring out every person that I listen to who says, "This has never been done before. How do I do this? How
Yeah,
do I create this?" And because I have now learned that there's nothing you cannot do if you have God in your on your side. So now I ask and I always ponder, what how do I get this to do this? What do I have to do? And then I start asking and start pondering over it, and all of a sudden it just kind of shows up somehow. And I'm going, "Oh, that's easy. I can do that. Let's try this."
that's amazing. I mean, that you have people that have mentored you without really knowing that they're mentoring you. I mean, like Craig doing the things that he does, just because that's how he does things, out of the box, and he thinks about it. But yeah, and you watch
And
from that.
I do. There's two different things that I would love for spouses to always know in their hearts, that when they come together as one, to always try to help that individual person be the best independent person so they can always want to be with you, not because they have to be with you. And the secondary thing is, um, you're always watching each other. And there's more times out of, I mean, for a good example, we had an event where I went over to see these girls to do something, and they need to pick up a trailer hitch. Somebody had a trailer, and I was the only one had the trailer hitch, but I knew how to put the trailer on to lock it down and everything. And I said, "This is not done right." Because I've watched him multiple times, and there's times where I've helped him put it together. But he didn't instruct me like, "You need to learn to do this." No, we just did it.
Yeah,
The more I do things like that consistently, watching him and doing the stuff, it's like I've become my own independent person. If he's gone somewhere, I know that I could do this if I so needed to. It might take me longer, but I can get the task done.
right.
But I love the fact that I love being with him because he makes me to be a better me, period.
Mhm.
And
That's
not many people do that in their marriages.
nope, no, because always somebody is wanting to be top dog and in control. So when you
Correct.
can have a marriage that comes together, but I mean, like I said, he's showing you things without really saying, you've got to learn how to do this, you need to do this or that. He's mentoring you without really knowing he's mentoring you.
Yeah.
I
There are
think that's
times where
amazing.
I just say, there's time where I say, no, you're gonna make me do this and I don't want to do this right now. And I stop my little size 7.5.
Yeah,
And
no,
he goes,
don't
okay,
want
fine.
to.
Other like backing up a trailer or boat or something. So there's times where I just like, no, but other times I'm going, I know I'm gonna grow through this.
Yeah,
And it's the same way in the business. I know that that's the truth, that we all have our own talents.
right. And everybody you talk to is going to look at things differently. I mean, you, like you said, you've got to listen to what they have to say and what their needs are, not, and I've always heard this when I was in Mary Kay too. You got to get the dollar signs out of your eyes. Don't look at people as, I'm going to sell to you. You need to look at them as a person. What do they need to keep their life healthy? And
Correct.
that's the bottom line. And to keep doing that and talking to people. I mean, I didn't hear the whole video that she did. How did she just start talking to people and getting classes? Did she mention anything like that? Because I'm
No,
always
she talked
wondering.
about the book. She talked about different books and stuff, but I think it was more the when she would have a class, it was classes spawn off from those classes.
Yeah,
But obviously she had a list of people to talk to, but I don't know how she got them to do a class. I know that some of the people that I talked to, I just say, I just need to write down that I did these classes and it's going to be about 40 minutes and I just need you to listen and that's it. Like my mom, like, okay. And more times than not, if they just know that they're there just to be on the other side of the screen, then okay, cool. If
yeah,
they got something out of it, even better. But that's about it. And so that's, I think, where I'm going with it. Like, because many people know, I mean, I should have been doing this for 13, going up 14 years. People know I do essential oils.
yeah,
Not all of them remember that I do it, or they just choose to not always talk with me, but I would like to go out and just say, hey, I really would love to just get your feedback or get something. And some people, when I call them, they're like, yeah, I'd love to do that. I'll hear from you and stuff. But they also know me too. So go
yeah.
from there. But yeah, I have no clue. That might be on the Q&As for next week.
That's true. Probably is. I'll have to listen to that. So, but listen to the rest of her too.
Right. And
Well,
I
Miss
see our
Deborah,
time is getting, yes, time is near.
time is getting near. I need to get going.
Yep. Thank you, everybody, for taking the time out of your evening to watch or whenever time you're watching this, the replay. And we'll see you next week with Crystal's Q&As to find out what more she has to share and what Bonnie has to think about the last 15, 20 minutes of the stuff, because there was some good juicy stuff that I'll probably re-listen anyway. So everyone have a great night. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.